I'm Sami. This is Lynda. We're pretty fierce. And we wrote about hair. They always say I'm hiding behind my hair. Bright pink bangs, they say, don't shield me at all. The analogy lies within my shy demeanor, and the words I keep locked within my thoughts, conveyed solely for self-deprecation. But for all that, he said, there lay within me something special, but we never talk anymore. And the simple matter of pressing buttons and speaking words into receivers becomes a feat of strength that neither of us can achieve. I will keep getting your busy signals and your answering machine, too choked up to breathe the words I long to say. Hello, how are you, and what are you doing? Jumbled words that can barely speak aloud, neither in whispers nor in shouts, indiscernible from the traffic outside. A haircut can make me feel like new. Scissors, razors, and hair dryers work like magic, but although I can cut my hair, I can never cut you out. You still remain in my thoughts, wedged into the cracks of my gray matter, an inescapable plague. I love boys who aren't there, and although I've moved on from you, I fall into the same landmines, those saccharine-laced smiles that suffocate me, the ones that keep me tongue-tied and terrified, the ones that exist in press photos, on websites, and lyrics and headphones, and words written on internet blogs, admired from afar, with all of my clumsy and childish heart, in the way only a ghost of a girl could achieve. I love you much, from root to tip, and as my hair falls dead around me, down sink drains and into hairbrushes and other places that make you cringe, shampoo and conditioner are used to wash the dirt from my hair and the hopes from my mind. Let the water sink down the drain, let the words sink through the receivers, and let those self-fulfilling prophecies sink back into my thoughts.
This is called a short story called Sometimes a Hair Color is Just a Hair Color. The first time Ellen met Julian at a club on the Lower East Side, he told her she danced like a stripper. She was flattered. He saw a potential in her even she hadn't realized. Then he started dyeing her hair. I have an idea for you, he would say as he wrapped her head in foils. Julian was convinced Ellen was going to write the great American novel. Julian was going to be a writer too, or an interior decorator, or a TV talk show host. Over the course of 20 years, he took her from shimmering blonde to sultry red to deep introspective brunette. Ellen never did write that novel. As for Julian, he still does hair. There are consolations, of course. Ellen, for example, has fallen in love with the kind of men she can imagine going brunette for. And Julian has found God. Then Julian disappears to an ashram for 3 months, just as Ellen has settled into the kind of lustrous chestnut brown that could not withstand more than 6 weeks of neglect. I'll just find someone else, she tells herself. She's tired anyway, tired of all Julian's get-a-better-life schemes. Maybe she likes her life just the way it is. By the time Julian returns, she's single again. You're back, she screams when he calls to ask if she'd like to come to his apartment for a touch-up. Obviously, all that inner peace just isn't paying his bills. But Ellen is relieved. She needs a real change. She needs to be blonde again. When she's sitting before the mirror in Julian's living room, it feels like old times, when there were no assistants, only Julian and Ellen, a stack of foils, and the sun setting before them in the wide window over the sofa. And then Julian begins to chant. It's not as if Julian never sang while he worked, but usually it's show tunes or Chardonnay. Tonight, he emits a series of sounds she does not understand. Ellen feels accused. So what if she doesn't get it? She would put up with his spiritual wiles in the name of a shade of hair color that would make someone notice that she was someone worth holding on to, maybe even for a lifetime. She sighs, staring at her reflection as Julian's voice vibrates through her. She might never be the toast of the literary world, might never fall in love again, no matter how blonde she gets. There are no guarantees in life, no matter what it says on the back of the box. She looks at Julian, his expression serene, detached. Does she even know him anymore, this friend she's carried with her now for more than 2 decades? His voice raises up once more, the sound so mournful a surge of tears moves into her throat. But Ellen doesn't cry. Instead, she lifts her voice to his. His eyes meet hers in the glass, and embarrassed, she closes hers and finds herself swallowed up by sound. For one moment she can't tell where his voice ends and hers begins. For one moment she no longer feels alone.